Hello once again. I am back again for another game review, and this time it is. Let's see who requested this one. This one was requested by LevDog3, another one of my good friends here, and he requested. I can't really see. Well, it's not in the box, so I'm not going to bother. He requested a review of Star Wars Rogue Squadron for the N64, and let me just say, I don't mean to sound biased or anything, but this is without a doubt one of my favorites Star Wars games of all time. And let's see, story, basically you're piloting different ships and you're completing missions. There's really no story. It's mainly just gameplay. But in this game, you have all the kinds of Star Wars ships to choose from. There's the X-Wing, there's the the A-Wing, the Y-Wing. The B-Wing isn't in this game, that kind of disappointed me, but instead they had something called the V-Wing, which only used for one mission in the game. At least until you beat every mission in the game, then you can pretty much use whatever ship you want on most of the missions. What else? The Snowspeeder is in this game. And with cheats, you can get the Naboo Starfighter, which is a really, really good ship to use in this game, the Millennium Falcon, and the TIE Interceptor. Now, these missions, basically you start out as just a morning stroll through Mos Eisley, making sure everything's, fine and dandy. And then you're pursued by this as another Moff. A Moff is a ranking of the Empire. I mean, there was a Grand Moff Tarkin, who was pretty much the highest ranked member on the Death Star, and there's Moff Jerjerrod, who is the very fast talking guy on the second Death Star from Return of the Jedi. Well, this time it is a Moff Syrdan. Moff Syrdan is one crazy guy. Let me tell you. I mean, first, he appears as just the kind of flamboyant, not really all that threatening guy who kind of sends just verbal insults at you. And then you eventually find out he's going after a Bacta supply, or a supply of Bacta. Bacta is, if you remember from Empire Strikes Back, Luke was put in one of the Bacta tanks to heal his wounds from the Wampa Ice Monster. And that's what Bacta is. It's like this incredibly multi-purpose kind of medicine that pretty much heals any type of wound. It's incredibly valuable and cannot be wasted. One of the missions in this game is to protect whatever Bacta you can. And let me tell you, getting a gold medal on that mission was not easy. Not easy at all. And then after you've beaten the regular missions in the game, you unlock 3 bonus missions. There's one that's just a race and a T-16 Skyhopper, and you cannot use a T-16 for every mission. It's just that one race that you race through Beggar's Canyon. There's the Death Star Trench Run, and there's the Battle of Hoth, which is the final bonus mission. And one of the coolest things about this game, I think, is the fact that you can actually get an inside the cockpit view. I mean, you actually see yourself inside the cockpit. You see the hatch door, the bars that go down it. You see all the pretty little lights and buttons and radar screens inside the ship. You're actually inside the cockpit of the ship. And you can look to your left, you can look to your right, and you're actually your screen is actually tilting, with the way you turn the ship and everything. And that was just, when I first saw it, I was just like, that is awesome. I mean, that was just incredibly, definite awesomeness addition to this game. Also, another thing I like about this game is that it's not really too easy. Some missions are easy, then the later ones get really, really hard, especially if you're going for all gold medals. One mission in particular, oh my god. I stopped playing this game for a while because of this mission. Then I came back and golded it within just a few tries. Because of one very stupid glitch, I kept getting silver medals on this mission. And I eventually, like I said, just gave up and I came back to it later. So there is the occasional glitch in this game. Other than that, I really have no problems. Graphically, it's not really that impressive, but I mean, well, for one thing, it's N64, but for that time, it was good. But it can't really focus too much on graphics because the action in this game is so fast-paced. I mean, you're zooming by in all these ships, and there's all these tiny little targets. They, of course, can't fully detail a stormtrooper running on the ground trying to get into his ship or into his walker or whatever. But as far as the ships go and all the walkers, those look very good. And there's also all these bonuses you find. I mean, these bonuses can be advanced. So there's an advanced shield, there's advanced missiles, seeker missiles, advanced bombs, seeker cluster missiles, all these different ones that you can find in certain levels that also help you to get the gold. And there's just a huge variety of missions, and there's also a couple of fun missions you can do. Even there's a one that if you use a certain code, there's a code. If you have the game, I'll tell you. If you don't know what the code is, the code is chicken, and if you use that, you enter this kind of bonus. It's like this grassy area, and you control an ATST, and the goal is basically to just destroy everything on the field. It's pretty cool to control an ATST, I will say. But so very few complaints I have with this game. For one thing, the tow cable on the snowspeeder, that can occasionally be a huge pain in the ass to do. I mean, especially if you're rushing to finish the time, or finish under the time limit to get the gold medal, and you're trying to wrap the cable around the AT-AT's legs as fast as you can, and you'll bump into his legs, and you'll get bumped away. Well, it is kind of hard to judge how tight or how wide to turn around the AT-AT's legs if you're not exactly sure. I mean, because unless you're inside the cockpit, which you can do, but doing that with the tow cable is really hard to control, unless you're just really good at doing it. But, and occasionally, if the AT-AT is, like, in between two hills, you'll slam. I mean, if you bump out of his legs, and you don't fly in the direction of the, you know, there's nothing, there's free space, and you'll take no damage. It's really hard to judge, you know, where to control your ship after you kind of misfire the tow cable or whatever, and you'll occasionally slam into wall upon wall upon wall upon wall, back into his legs once again. You'll just kill yourself. So I mean, that is kind of annoying, but it's not bad. I mean, you get used to it pretty quick. Another complaint I have: the game did seem a bit short. There could have been a few more missions, I think, but that doesn't really affect it all that much. Graphic-wise, I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, after all, for an N64 game, the graphics on this game were pretty impressive. They were definitely impressive. Ship detail is very good. All the different cheats you can enter. I mean, all the ship's graphics look impressive, I have to say. I mean, even from the smallest little A-wing to the Millennium Falcon itself. And I gotta say, the voice acting in this game is pretty good too. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not the exact people who voiced Luke and Han from the movie, but they were pretty close, I think. So if you have an N64 or N64 emulator or whatever, I would definitely advise getting that game or downloading it and playing it. It's really, really fun. There was another game kind of like it called Battle for Naboo, and while I did kind of like that game, it was very, very glitchy compared to Rogue Squadron. And it also didn't have the inside the cockpit view that I love so much. I'm sorry, I can't get over how cool it was to be inside the cockpit of an X-Wing just blasting everything down. But anyway, in short, I will give Star Wars Rogue Squadron for the N64 a 9 out of 10. Mainly things that hurt it was the length of the game and the glitches. The glitches in this game can really get annoying. They can. So that's what mainly hurt it. But other than that, it's a very good game to get. Very, very fun and addicting. If you can get it, I definitely advise getting it. And that completes my 5th out of 6 game reviews, or requested game reviews. My last review will possibly be up in a few minutes, so stay tuned. Metroid, once again, signing off.